Hello, everybody, and welcome so much to our session. So, my name is Tuuli Eaton, and as the name suggests, I'm a European, multilingual Finn who's very passionate about technology and the value training and certification is improving in people's employability and careers. And I've been in this industry for over 2 decades, and throughout the IT skills gap has always been a challenge, let's be honest, but I never seen the digital divide accelerating at the speed and the ferocity we are seeing since the introduction of AI era. But whilst we might be challenged in the new ways and at the faster pace of working, there's so many positive developments going alongside here. And across Europe, AI is already transforming how many people are working, like again, everywhere in the world. But in this slide, we captured some of the latest statistics available to highlight why Europe needs AI partners. Like more than a quarter of adults are using AI tools at work, but at the same time, 6 in 10 are in roles where AI will change how those tasks are done. And look at just the World Economic Forum here, for example. They are warning that almost 40% of the current skills will be outdated by 2030, and 63% of employers say skills gaps are holding back their digital transformation. So there's a really clear need to have trusted partners to help organizations to upskill and reskill, and not just in technical AI, but in the human and ethical dimensions as well. And the Europe's AI market opportunity as a focus area for us today here is also staggering. And the good news is that Europe is mobilizing. On the demand side here, like for instance, CEPS research found that 600,000 AI skill vacancies are open in Europe in just 1 year, and more than half of them are in UK, Germany, and France. And at the same time, European Commission is also doing their part. They are investing 1.3 billion euros throughout 2027 to boost AI, cybersecurity, and digital skills. So, but it's also very interesting as a European to see that uneven adoption of AI. Like, for example, only 8% of the Italian firms are using AI compared to 20 in Germany. And those means like a huge untapped opportunity for training and certification initiatives here. And when we start looking at then Europe in particular, well, you can't go and not talk about EU AI Act. I mean, that's a real game changer. Europe is leading the way, in my humble and biased opinion, not just for technology, but for people. It creates that legal ethical responsibilities for anyone developing and deploying and using AI systems. And that's also now bringing new roles into play. We are looking at roles like AI compliance officer, ethics and risk impact specialist, for example. And this key message here is that the EU AI Act doesn't just regulate technology, it institutionalizes AI literacy. At AI CERTs, and bring it back to what we do, we have incorporated AI ethics in every course of ours. There's a module, and that's such an important topic. And one of my favorites I have to call out here is the AI executive one, because they have a very dedicated chapter also about the EU AI Act. Really recommend also having a look at that. But it is EU AI Act is definitely one of the first here to really take a role. And what does it mean then for you as a training partner, as an academia, as a association? I mean, we've seen some staggering statistics here where the reskilling needs to take place and where organizations like us come to play. And we want to be part of the solution. So our mission is to make AI literacy, ethics, and technical competence accessible to everyone. from students to professionals, to small and medium enterprises, to large enterprises. And for organizations partnering with us, this opportunity is tangible, it is imminent. And our primary go-to-market, as Ben mentioned earlier and emphasizes, is partner first. So we really, as a Europe, we need to work together, collaborate between educators, employers, training providers, making sure that AI is strengthening and not replacing the human potential. And now, when you look at the certification programs and workforce training and strategic partnerships will help individuals to future-proof the careers. And it doesn't mean like in the end of the day, the real opportunity isn't just using AI. It's understanding it, it's shaping it and using it responsibly. And whether we address this as a corporate or individual needs, our learning management system can cater both. And let's have a closer deep dive into what that looks like in our world. So, and we're very proud of it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump in. Go back one slide, right? Because I think you're covering a lot of interesting things, and there's some good chats going on and
Okay.
stuff like that. It's really interesting, right? I mean, just those stats that you showed, right? These are big numbers. I mean, it's funny because I don't think we often have to convince partners of the growing need for AI training, right? Just, I mean, look at the stats you showed, right? It's just a huge growing market. But what I did like is the way you were teeing things up in terms of one of the biggest, fastest growing areas of this AI training market is around people and companies that are new to AI, right? These people that need, AI literacy, right? And then, I think the next step is, and this is almost a new phrase in the market, AI fluency. And then you want AI mastery, right? So there's people at all three stages, but increasingly AI is impacting these individuals that typically haven't used advanced technologies before, right? Like when I was taking us through earlier that slide, and there's, job focused certifications for, lawyers, there's AI plus legal, there's AI plus finance, there's AI plus sales, right? Many of these roles are new to the concept of AI. And I think this is where our sweet spot is this notion of getting people ready, AI readiness, whether you need basic literacy to AI fluency. If you think about AI, much of the effective use of AI is how you speak to your tools, how you use your tools, right? And that's why I like this phrase fluency, because it's like learning another language, right? I'm Canadian. In theory, I'm fluent in French, right? I grew up in New Brunswick. I had to learn both languages in order to graduate from high school. It is quickly becoming the same way for many people, right? Now, we don't give in-depth training across everything, right? We do have our 5-day mastery courses, right? Those security ones and cloud and developer and things like this. But one of the most active parts of that portfolio that you showed you, those 50 plus gray boxes, is and was on that left-hand side, the roles that are needing this. And the only reason I wanted to pause and jump in on this, Tilly, was I think it's really important when we're looking for partners that partners understand that the growth is across the board, everything, right? So again, people that need, literacy, just basic understanding, people that need fluency, and then people that need those mastery courses. It's that entire spectrum that gets me excited. I was actually meeting with a hospital in Saudi Arabia, and the conversation basically went, let's look at your org chart, because you're telling me that everyone in your hospital organization, it's a big organization, right? It's not a little small building, right? It's a whole countrywide system of healthcare institutions. And they were telling us, we need to get everyone, whether you're a receptionist, a person in the mailroom, whether you're a doctor or a nurse or a person who's looking at the building real estate. I need everyone ready for AI because AI is now being used and generating things that are impacting everyone across that entire hospital system, right? So we literally brought out an org chart and we went and we said, okay, this role we have this role we have this AI plus for everyone. Over here, your leadership team, they need to take AI plus executive and prompt engineering. And then over here, we have certifications for everyone in your legal department. It's a hospital. It's a fairly big legal department, right? Marketing and all the rest. And we went through team by team by team and mapped what we offer. And I think this is one of those benefits when you look at that list of 50 plus certifications. It's not just about helping individuals. There's a big B2C opportunity, right? Selling to individuals, right? There's equally just as big an opportunity to sell to organizations, whether it's an academic organization, a corporate or business organization, whether it's an association organization, but these bigger groups. This is where, and I haven't seen this in such a long time, where those organizations are saying everyone needs it. Now, they need it in different ways, right? Instructor-led and self-paced. They need it in different ways in terms of their roles. AI for lawyers, how it's being used by lawyers is quite different than how it's going to be used by accountants and finance people, right? So often similar set of tools, but the way they're used and the way they're impacting lawyers versus accountants are quite different, right? And this is why I like the fact that, when we talk about all these certification programs, we follow that ISO standard, right? I always forget, I don't know, it's 17024 or something, right? Yep. The key thing is it's a rigorous process, right? When we do these role-based certifications, right, we do our job task analysis. We do market research, job task analysis, skills blueprinting, objective domains. We write the exams, we write the courseware, and then we rely on our partners to bring it to market, right? It's a pretty rigorous process. So I just want to take a quick break because we're almost halfway through our webinar today, and just take a breath and kind of anchor the things you did, right? Because even the things the EU Act, as you said, not only is it groundbreaking legislation, right? Really bring in some fundamental standards to how organizations are going to be using and should be using AI. It actually has a bunch of training and skilling requirements in it as well. Fundamental to the EU Act, one of the key sections is anyone who's using AI tools needs to have some basic training on it, right? I mean, here in Europe, we may remember, the European driver's license or whatever it was, right? We had one for IT professionals several years ago and things. It's a similar concept, right? Don't get behind the wheel of your AI tool, right? Unless you know how to, speak to your AI tool, right? The EU Act is starting to drive some of those compliance, side of things, right? I think this is why AI CERTs has grown so much. I joined the company in, October, November, December last year, somewhere in that 3-month period, and we were around 160 people, and now we're over 450. Like the demand is there, but the demand is of an unusual shape and size, right? It's everyone across a lot of different industries, right? Both helping individuals and companies address this need of the world is adopting AI so quickly. A lot of these people are not only trying to catch up, right, and get that foundational knowledge that we offer, but then keep those things up to date as well, right? All right, a little bit of a break there, Thule. So I'm going to hand things back to you. I'll try and keep my mouth quiet for a little bit longer. I know I have my section coming up as well. So back to you.
Well, thank you, Ben, and thank you for sharing these insights. I really like that your comparison to languages, and us in Europe, we of course love languages. We learn several of them at schools, and I think there's analogy between treating AI as a new language. I think resonates well with the group we have here today. So yeah, we're starting off talking about our LMS, our learning management system, and I personally I got very excited when I joined the AI CERTs, when I learned the way we are deploying and making our content available to learners. I would say that rarely do we see so many choices for anyone to consume content. In our world, the person, they get their 1 year subscription to the materials during which regular updates are happening, and they also, every course has their own AI mentor which you can prompt and ask questions during your course. And you have then 4 different modalities to play with. You can consume the content as I would say, traditional e-learning, with a person talking with captions, slides. That's what we often see. But we have also, those who like to read can look at the eBook and go through the chapters. We have the audio, and the newest kid in the block is podcast. And that gives you the hands-free approach to listen to people talking about the subjects. Go for a run, walk your dog, whatever. It's very accessible. And one of the things I think we discussed yesterday, the amazing statistics of our mobile app being downloaded over 400,000 times in a very short period of time. And I think that's very much down to the fact that people want to consume the content in the podcast format, or would you agree, Ben?
It's amazing, right? Because I think we're almost close to 500,000 app downloads. We just launched the mobile app, just a few months ago. If you follow our LinkedIn posts, our company LinkedIn posts, I think we just did a post on it yesterday or something with the latest stats. But it's a good example around, like you said, and you can see in this screenshot, the giving people multiple ways to learn in different locations, right? So it's interesting that phrasing, right? So, many of us are used to, instructor-led learning with slides, right? Kind of like today's webinar, right? You have a hopefully engaging trainer and a set of slides and labs, and then, if you're doing self-paced e-learning, it's the videos. We actually offer multiple ways for people to learn those topics, right? We call them modalities, multimodality, right? And you can see it on that right-hand side. You want to learn about this topic? Listen to the podcast, listen to the audiobook, watch the video, read the ebook, do the interactivity exercises. On that left-hand side, that big blue box in the screenshot, there's an always present AI mentor that you can ask questions. And by the way, the AI mentor responds in different languages because I was with a partner yesterday, one of our Nordic partners, and it was conversing in a different language, right? So lots of different ways of learning. And then, like you said, the app also now frees people up so you don't have to be at your computer to learn. It's an app. It's a mobile app. It works on tablets. It works on phones, right? And Turley, it's funny because the example you gave is one of the examples that I do myself, which is when I take my dogs for a walk, right? I listen to a podcast, one of the course podcasts, right? Mm-hmm. I am able to, because I have the app on my phone and I'm not at my office, right? I am able to learn literally on the go, right? And I like this because, as we were saying before, many of these courses are short. They're 1 day, right? These are quick wins with a validated outcome, that certification, right? This is not, and I mean this in the nicest of ways, it's not rocket science. This is about getting average people ready for AI. Yeah, we have the in-depth 5-day courses for developers and cloud and system and network architects and security professionals. Those guys are used to learning all the time about new advances in technology, and we have offerings for them, right? It's this other audience that, and you said it earlier, and I'm just triggered by what you said, this digital divide, right? There's a new digital divide happening, right? And it's these individuals, right, that are often part of teams, that are often part of larger organizations that need this AI readiness training and giving it to them in a way that works best for them, right? It's not that I always like to listen to podcasts. I like to listen to podcasts when I don't have access to my computer. I'm walking around. If I'm in my office, right, I often like to go and talk to the mentor and do the interactivity exercises. I'm not a big video person, right? But I'll do it, if my location and my time demands permit it. So this is probably one of my more favorite slides in the deck. And I hope everyone, while, I was babbling and Tuli was talking, and there's a difference between the two, you guys had a chance to read this, right? That left-hand side of the slide, a lot of text, but this is one of the reasons why we're so successful, right? Not just rigorous certifications, and that drives the way we do our course development, but the way we deliver these courses, right? If you're taking an instructor-led course or a self-paced e-learning course, you get this, right? The difference is the instructor-led version, obviously, the trainer has a slide deck, an instructor's guide or a trainer's guide, and all the rest. And you go to class and you're listening and interacting with the trainer and your students and the slides, but everyone gets access to this self-paced content as well. Because even outside of an instructor-led class, we want to make sure you can learn the way you need to learn at that point in time. All right, you asked for comments. You got it, Tuli.
Got it.
Coffee's kicking in.
No, that's great. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's early for you in the morning. Coming back to the here, you can also see in the screen a screenshot of our AI Foundation course, and this is our AI literacy course. It's a very fundamental course, but it's our gift to the wider world. We are offering this for free for anyone to enroll, and that's going to be a really good starting point for potential learners or potential lead generation engine for our partners, but also for those who was just interested to go and test with our LMS. Go and enroll and try how the podcast audios and the content operates, and the same theme will carry on throughout our other more role-based specific courses as well. And what I also recommend is to try our examination experience. And I've done a couple of these AI proctored exams here at AI CERTs. So the beauty of it is not just the fact that it's available for you as a learner 24/7 at any time you are ready. You just need to find a quiet room with a webcam and launch the exam, and the AI will take over. You are on our own video. It's monitoring your head movements. It's listening to noises. You are proctored by AI. And that is so powerful for the fact that the exam validity and the content goes hand in hand. It takes a lot of administrative burden also from the training partner side. So you don't have to monitor separately when your exam vouchers are expiring, when you're going to schedule your exam. You can launch it 24/7 in our platform, and that is so helps so much with the accessibility, and hopefully encourages more people to take the exam. And with that also, I need to also mention our credentialing experience. Now that we hopefully have taken your exam, you get your results immediately. And should you have passed the exam, you get a certification which is verified in blockchain. And that is huge. The meaning that you get your own individual QR code where the potential employer or the person of interest can just scan the QR code and they know immediately that that certificate is yours. So there's no more this open editable PDFs or anything like that. Our integrity is so important to us and for our learners. And with this, we are solving a big industry problem, I think, as well. And I found that very powerful, and that was also one of the things I got really excited when I joined here, that we have that instant tamper-proof way of showing that person is certified and can walk the walk and talk the talk, as we say. And if I move to the next slide, unless Ben wants to add anything here, I'll carry on. And
No,
let's talk a little.
the only thing I always point out, Tilly, is that little QR code that's on their certificate, right? Because one of the unique things is, and we call it out here, right, is every one of these certificates, these digital certificates, the badges that people get, the digital badges, right? They have a QR code, and you can scan the QR code, and it tells you whether or not that's a valid certification, who got it, when they got it, and all the rest. And this is increasingly becoming important because our certifications are tamper-proof, they're portable, and you can instantly verify them. And this is another way of making our certifications stand out in the marketplace, right? Fraud-proof, you can't tamper these things, right? And this is when you can go to your current employer or your future employer and say, not only have I attended the course and I passed the exam and I have this AI readiness certification, I can also prove it to you as well, right? Scan the code and stuff like that. So that's one of those things that's pretty unique. It's technically stored on a technology called the blockchain. We actually offer certifications on Bitcoin and blockchain in addition to AI. But this blockchain technology really, makes it part of, the way I view it as a public record, right? No matter what happens, right? It's always going to be stored on the blockchain and can be verified. And even over time, if we have to, we can revoke certifications and things like this. The certifications are good for 12 months, right? After 12 months, you have to retake the certification exam, right? So this is, a process of, renewing your certifications every 12 months, which of course makes sense because a lot of things happen in the AI world in 12 months. It feels like lots of things happen almost on a weekly basis. But all right, counting down to 17 minutes. You got a couple more slides. I got a couple of case studies. Onwards.
Excellent, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and of course, when you get your certification, you can also share this socially and add it into your LinkedIn profile too. So let's talk a little bit about how to partner with us. And Penny already mentioned this as part of the introduction, that so we have 4 different methods of partnering with AI CERTs. We have the academic and institutional partners. We call them the mission-aligned collaborators. And then we have the training and enterprise partners, the growth-driven collaborators. So in the most popular way at the moment, people are partnering with is by becoming an authorized training delivery partner. And they are the only ones, alongside with our academic partners, who can actually deliver instructor-led training with us, with their certified instructors. And the authorized training partners, they do make an upfront investment with us, which is then converted into a future credit. But they get so much support. They get free instructor enrollments. They get tons of marketing resources, which I'm going to talk about just in a moment. And we have, I think we're catering so many different modalities here of working together. So although the authorized training partners are maybe the most popular route to work with us, we're also seeing a growing interest in academia and them integrating certifications into their learning programs, and of course employability and future readiness is very, very important. Academic partners can be anything from universities, colleges, apprenticeship providers, further education institutions. There's a lot of ones who fall into that category, and then we have associations who want to add value to their members, as well as affiliates, which are influencers, people who are more just maybe looking a bit for lower entry to start with, less in commitment maybe from their side, but at the same time they can also earn a commission based on their referrals, and that can be a very good stepping stone then becoming an authorized training partner perhaps further down the line. So there's a lot of flexibility here from our side of choosing the right fit for an organization, and we'd love to have all those conversations with you after this call, or maybe part of this Q&A if you're brave, and yeah, work with us. So we want to. We are a partner first organization, and we won't succeed unless we have a strong network of partners we are working with us. So what do the partners get then? As by becoming a partner, of course, you get access to the curricula. We have now 50 plus certifications in the portfolio, and we talked about the agility on how those the content has been deployed, and the flexibility for the learner, and that's given. But it's also, I would say, that perhaps the second biggest department after product development in this company. Maybe I'm talking off the cuff here, but I think it's marketing is massively.
It's probably marketing, yep.
Probably marketing, yes. Marketing is second to none. I've worked in this industry a very long time, and I haven't seen any vendor bringing so many resources, thousands of images, social media kits, presentations, email templates, you name it. They are available at our partner's disposal. And usually when one becomes a partner, they will start, one of the first meetings we have is, let's build a joint go-to-market strategy. Let's organize a webinar together. We will bring the speaker. So it is phenomenal. And of course, we pride about the partner enablement and our support, which is available 24/7 and on our operations. But we are a partner first organization, and we don't succeed if our partners are not active and engaged and actively enabled and supported. And I might be in a place where I'm handing back the reins over to you, Ben.
Now,
unless
now it's my turn. You get to push the slides.
Yay! But anything you want to add, or shall we just carry on in the interest of time?
Let's keep going. I mean, I'll cover some of this stuff even when I go through the case studies. Just given the sheer number of attendees in today's webinars, I suspect we have potential partners from all those different programs, right? Whether it's
fantastic.
Authorized training partners, authorized academic partners, as we call them, these associations, these, affiliates and things like this. And this is important because, like we said earlier, many of the people that need this AI readiness training exist in ways that take specialized partners to do, right? Like I'm often asked, like, hey, do you ever do exclusive arrangements, or do you cap the number of partners in the region? And honestly, the answer is no, because there's so many learners and so many organizations in every country around the world. There's no way one partner is going to do it, right? Now, the partners need to have their own go-to-market approach. What makes you different from everyone else? We give you the building blocks, right? But the way you bring it to market, the way you go after specific organizations and learners and all the rest, the other value-added services that you bring, that helps differentiate you in the market, right? This is important because AI needs to be hyper personalized to the person taking the course and the organization that the person ideally belongs to, right? I.e., AI is not generic training, right? It is really a value when you get down to the role level and really a value when you're adding that additional context. All right, let's go to the next. Let's just talk about some case studies in terms of roles and things, because this is something that's different. And even if you're in the training business today, or if you're one where, your members or your students, whatever grouping you belong to being impacted, it all, in the end revolves around industries and roles, right? So, here's one, MasterCard, right? AI is very good at data and analyzing data. If you're a financial institution, if you're a bank, or in this case, a credit card company and so on, AI can really help, deal with fraud, right? That's the essence, the fear of all financial institutions. And now you can see AI coming along and saying we can help reduce fraud in a variety of different ways, right? The first bullet point is my typo. It's not that one. It's the first two bullet points. No lawyers in the fraud use case, but this is an example where I've met with banks just recently, one here in the U.S., and they're like, I need everyone inside the bank to get trained on AI, and I need my technical teams to go into those 5-day mastery courses. And there's data analytics courses that we offer. There's security courses that we offer, right? There's infrastructure courses. All these roles are being impacted by AI, and these roles are using AI. And banks are just one example, right? Finance is an industry, right? So much demand for AI there. All right, let's go to the next one, right? So the earlier bullet point goes on this one, which is lawyers. If you think about lawyers, right? Lawyers have so much paperwork to do and filing and citations, a different type of data, right? It's not number data, right? But it's more all the things that the caseload, the paperwork that lawyers have to go through. They're starting to use AI really efficiently, right? Especially in terms of research. Now, if you've been reading the news over the last several months, right, there's also some examples of lawyers, not doing a good job of using AI tools, right? So again, garbage in, garbage out. This is about getting people to understand in and through our certification programs. I'm a lawyer. What is AI? Help me understand what it is. How's it being used in the legal industry? Give me some examples of apps, tools, and technologies being used by lawyers, and then give me some legal case studies. And now I'm ready to go and pass this AI plus legal certification exam. And now I can say I have a fundamental understanding. Now, as my law firm goes down the deeper, choosing certain technologies and all the rest, my company will train me on those tools, more in depth. But now I have that fundamental understanding. That's what accountants need, and finance professional needs, and legal professors like lawyers need, right? Is this fundamental grounding. All right, let's go. One more, maybe two more. Healthcare, oh my gosh. Healthcare, man, probably half my conversations the past week, because today's only Tuesday, so last week was around healthcare, right? And healthcare is an awesome tool to improve the quality of healthcare if it's used ethically and responsibly, right? And Thule mentioned this earlier, every one of our courses has a module on ethics and like that. That's really important in healthcare, right? Privacy and all the rest, patient outcomes is the priority of anyone in the healthcare industry. There are some examples there. I love this because underlying this is, and we now are coming out, and I think we have some of these things now, we're coming out like next week or something, We have AI plus healthcare, which is good for anyone in the industry, right? It's a fundamental certification on how AI is being used in healthcare generally. And then we're coming out with role-focused certification programs, AI plus doctor, AI plus nurse, right? And the list goes on. And it's interesting because many doctors, if you ever meet my doctor, he's not the most technical person in the world, right? He's a very good doctor, right? And he's starting to, take his notes in a digital way, but he's likewise, when I meet with him, we talk more about AI than we do about me. And he's like, I need to understand what this is, right? Like my company's rolling out these things. I hear about it. I hear how it can help me, reinforce the way that I diagnose my patients and things like this. But I have little bits and pieces. Help me get that fuller fundamental understanding. All right, let's go one more. I don't know how many more we have. I think this is probably the last one, in our deck as we go through these things, which is, why, partner with us? Well, one, we started off with AI is being used by everyone everywhere, and you saw all kinds of big stats, right? Then we went through how do we think about this? Well, we think about AI training at the role level. We really believe that roles are using AI differently. The lawyer is going to use AI differently than the accountant. The marketing person is using AI differently than the salesperson. All four of those roles exist inside the enterprise, but they need role-specific training. Training is not enough. They need certification. That's where we stand out. The rigor of the way we develop these certifications, even though many of our certification programs are only 1 day long, they're highly effective to get everyone on the same page who's in that role, get everyone across all the roles ready. Now the organization's ready, right? And it could be an organization, it could be an academic institution saying, I have career pathways on healthcare. I'm preparing people for roles in healthcare. I need to add an AI to it. I need an AI track, or, in academia, we call them micro certifications, micro credentials, right? Because they're part of a longer degree program, right? So the growing demand of AI technologies is fueling a growing demand for AI training, and in particular, the segment of that market that is growing the fastest is these traditional non-technical learners. Now, throughout this session, oh my gosh, thank you to all the people in the back room who are supporting us, because there's been lots of posts in the chat, right? Answering the questions you asked us privately, coming back and doing some public posts in the chat where you can get more detailed information. There's tons of links there and so on. My ask is two things as we wrap up this webinar. One, I hope you found it useful, right? Time is precious. To see so many people are taking time out of their day is very inspiring. Two action items. One, go to the AI CERTs website, aicerts.ai. Go to the partners tab and learn about our different partner programs and see what it entails, right? Fill out the form there. One of us, right? And there's a lot of us on the partnership team or the partner team. We'll get back to you. We'll set up a meeting. Fill out the form if you're interested. Second, sign up for the AI Plus Foundation course. That is our free 4 hours with the exam added at the end, our AI literacy course. Free for everyone. Our partners use it for demand generation and stuff like this. But it's a good way, like Tuli said, to get the experience, right? See what we offer. Try it firsthand. Those are the two things. All right. We are going to wrap things up. We had lots of things going back and forth in the chats. Thank you guys for the high level of engagement. We will make a recording of this available to you as well. If you want to speak to your favorite Canadian, your favorite European, right? If we want to get nationalistic, go to the website, fill out the form. One of us we're in contact with you. But I hope everyone else enjoys the rest of your day. And again, exciting times. Let's see if we can take advantage of it and make a difference in people's lives.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Tuli. That was an amazing session. I myself learned a lot how I'm going to utilize it in marketing. So, yeah, I believe everyone has something to take away. And like they have told you, you can get in touch with anyone at any point of time if you want help. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Tuli, once again. Thank you, Urja, for technical support. Bye-bye, lovely audience.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.